Yo, so recently I've been using this hyper modern vocal effect from Minimal Audio. It's called Evoke and it is perfect for vocal resynthesis. And lately I've been able to get some crazy textures out of my lead lines and multi-voice harmonies with a super simple workflow. Okay, so here I have the beginning of a track idea that I'm working on, and it's got this like nice trap feel. So a nice chill vibe. This is what my vocal sounds like with it without Evoke on it.
Everybody has their own idea.
So already really polished, but what Evoke allows me to do is go beyond traditional pitch correcting and vocoding and get something that is instantly atmospheric, lush, and complex without a bunch of difficult plugins. So this is what it sounds like on my lead vocal using the crisp parallel preset.
Everybody has their own idea of what you should think and how you should feel.
To my ears, that sounds so good. It has such a nice, modern, distinct character to it. It took my single vocal take and transformed it into something that is completely texturized with one of the best sounding vocoder effects I've heard out of any plugin ever. So Evoke has two main views. The first view is the resynth view, which allows you to control resynthesis, vocal modeling, and tuning controls. And then the effects view allows you to load, reorder, and chain effects however you'd like in any order. You can even duplicate multiple effects of the same kind, really polishing your vocals off. But Evoke is so deep and robust and simultaneously so easy to dig into at a first glance. Now, Minimal Audio has a whole walkthrough video that I encourage you to check out if you want to learn every function and feature of Evoke. But even if you just want to dive right in, they have this handy tooltip section here. So if you click on the question mark, it'll explain every facet and feature of Evoke, giving you an idea of what each panel, knob, and section does so that you can edit your vocals easily, learning what each button does on the go. So for instance, like the character section up here, this is where you can choose the timbral character used by the resynthesis engine. Each mode uses a distinct internal process, so one may produce lush, unison, and choral textures, while another may create a futuristic robotic effect. And if you click into here too, you can see that there's a bunch of different options for these algorithms essentially that are used by Evoke. You have natural, synthetic, and texture to choose from, changing the core character for your vocal resynthesis.
Everybody has their own idea of what you should think and how you should feel. But there's got to be more than all that we see, and I know you will think so.
Now, even if you don't have your own vocals, you can use these on any vocal samples that you find maybe on Splice. So I have a couple vocal samples that I found on Splice a while back, and just going at this from scratch, this is how you can use Evoke. So the first thing you want to do is set your global scale and pitch tracking so everything stays locked to your project key. So these vocal samples are in F sharp minor, so I'm going to put them in F sharp minor, and you'll notice that there's this lock button next to it that keeps it locked no matter what preset you change to. And so now that that's locked, I can play this back and it's going to sound coherently in line with my project. So this is what the dry vocal samples sound like on their own.
Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then.
And then this is with Evoke.
Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then.
Sounds fantastic. I like this preset Astra Grace, along with a bunch of other presets that I favorited from these different sections. And there's plenty of pack banks to check out inside of Evoke. You have minimal picks, lead, harmony, tone, motion, filtered, ambient, transform, and core sounds. So there's a lot of great starting points using all the presets that are already embedded inside of Evoke. Here's a few more of my favorite presets.
Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then. Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then. Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then. Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then. Let's see how you move, darling. On its own then.
Okay, so to highlight a few key features of Evoke that I really like about it, besides being able to load in my own character algorithms for different textures, I love that there's this spectrum control display where you can actually create your own vocal modeling filter that gets used to resynthesize the input signal. So as my sample is playing back, I can actually draw on my own vocal modeling filter, and it's going to change how it gets resynthesized.
Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something. Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something.
So you can hear how it changes it, and then you have these spectrum control dials down here where you can tilt the vocal modeling filter, you can shift it, and you can also scale it as well.
Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something. Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something. Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something.
So you can hear how that has an immediate effect on the overall character and sound of your vocals. And then if you decide that you don't like it, you can always go to this little wrench icon and just click reset, and it'll bring it back to its original state. And then if you want to randomize for some unexpected texture, you can actually hit the dice, and it's going to randomize that vocal modeling filter for you.
Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something.
Okay, and then the last couple of things I want to show you that I think are worth it is the formant shift is really high quality. So if you play it back and you mess with this formant dial, you can really hear how high quality it is.
Let's see how you move, darling.
Oh, that's something. Let's see how you move, darling.
Oh, that's something.
I think it's one of the higher quality ones. I've used Alter Boy before from Sound Toys, which is really high quality too, but I noticed it sometimes does some weird things with the stereo field, whereas with this one, it stays pretty consistent. The next thing here is the voices. So this is your harmonization section, and it is so easy to dial in extra voices with your single take vocals. So it's already an octave down, but you can add anywhere above or between with more voices, adding 4 total voices together. So we have an octave shift down. We can add this 4th here, and maybe I'm going to change it to not be so low. I want it to be, maybe let's do like a 3rd, and then we'll add a 5th here, and then we'll do 1 more octave up. So that's shifted 1 up. This is 1 down. Then we got a 3rd and a 5th in the middle, and then you can change the tuning so that it's either tracking or fixed, the level of it itself, and panning these different voices in the stereo field wherever you want them. So this is what it sounds like with that.
Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something.
So super easy to dial in harmonization on the fly. The next thing is this freeze section where when you click it, the analysis signal of the input is actually frozen and it holds the current pitch. So this is what it sounds like.
Let's see how you move, darling. Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's
So this could be really good for like transitionary effects or something along those lines where you want to hold the pitch, and you can actually change the retriggering to be synced and get like nice repetitive effects. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is this pitch style. I'm going to turn off some of these other voices here. And when this is enabled, if you click this little note here, it enables you to create complex melody sequences on the fly. So while it's playing back, I'm going to change this pitch knob here, and it's going to give me a different melody than the one that is actually sung in this vocal take.
Let's see how you move, darling. Oh, that's something.
So you can actually mess around with that and get an entirely different melody than the one that you originally created. And it's going to work differently depending on your vocal material. I found it actually works pretty well on mine, where my vocal takes are usually in the mid to high range. I can get a pretty good vocal quality out of it, but it's just something to check out and mess with. So there's a ton of things that I didn't go over. Like with the effects section, I said you can load up any of these effects using up to 12 of them at a time. And like I said, you can repeat effects too. So if you want 2 delays, for instance, you can have them in sequence. Or if you want them at somewhere else in the chain, you can click and drag them after the chorus. So this is a whole section to explore as well, but there's so much more you can check out just by experimenting on your own. I didn't even get into the dedicated macros that you have or the LFO controls that you have where you can click and drag it on anything, change the amount of LFO control. There's followers, there's curves. I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do to customize and get your sounds really moving inside of Evoke. This is a fully featured plugin, and honestly, it is my favorite vocal effect I've ever tried all the years I've been making music. In my opinion, Minimal Audio makes really high quality plugins, and they're so well thought out. This is probably one of the first plugins I don't think there's anything that I could add or add to a wish list for. It is pretty much perfect in my opinion. So if you want a one-stop shop vocal processing effect with hard tuning, the ability to harmonize, get a high quality formant shifting vocal, high fidelity vocoder, this is your plugin. And right now it's on an introductory offer of $79. It's normally going to be $129 after October 19th, depending on when you watch this video. So it's 38% off right now at Plugin Boutique. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. But this is one of the most highly recommended plugins that I've ever tried on this channel and really think it's worth its salt. So check out the Plugin Boutique link, check out other demos on YouTube. I mean, this thing really does rock. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.